Mackenzie Johnston with Livestock Digital Daily, bringing you your September 21st cattle industry headlines. Brought to you by Ag Risk Advisors. They manage your risk so you can manage your operation. With over 20 years of experience, Ag Risk Advisors offers honest and transparent advice for your operation. They offer insurance solutions that help you minimize risk and maximize profitability for your farming and ranching operations. They might not be able to make it rain, but they can sure ease the pain. If you want to learn more about pasture, rangeland, forage insurance, go ahead and reach out to Ag Risk Advisors. They can help you understand what PRF insurance is all about and what it can do for your operation. Drovers has reported JBS USA has been granted approval to settlement of $20 million in pork price fixing allegations by Judge John R. Turnheim of the U.S. District Court for the District of Minnesota. Almost $7 million of that will go towards attorney fees and costs. And JBS, of course, they are not admitting liability of price fixing in this situation. They never have. According to AgriPulse, JBS USA has paid $12.75 million to indirect purchasers and $24.5 million to direct purchasers. In total, the meat giant has settled over $57 million in this specific case. So there's a long list of defendants included in this case, but of course we have our usual culprits that we see time and time again in such cases. We have Smithfield Foods, Seaboard Foods, Triumph Foods, Tyson Foods, and of course, data provider AgriStats. But again, keep in mind, this is just a short list of the usual culprits. The defendant, the actual list of defendants is much longer than just this. To date, over $120 million has been settled by defendants in this case. Meeting Place has reported earlier this year a packing plant of record proportion costing $1.1 billion was proposed to be built in the Rapid City, South Dakota area. The plant was expected to harvest right around 8,000 head per day and employ 2,500 people. But according to the Rapid City Journal, the Black Hills Industrial Center, where the plant was expected to be built, has put a kibosh to the whole thing for that region, claiming the center doesn't have enough space left to accommodate such a large plant. So according to industry sources, there are multiple other locations being considered for the plant, Cheyenne, Wyoming being one of them. According to Cheyenne's mayor, the plant would be built to prevent the smells normally attributed from such a facility. Cheyenne's Swan Ranch Business Park is being considered for the plant's location. Today's cattle market highlights are brought to you by Circle 5 Cow School. If you want to learn how to preg check your own cows or start AIing, Circle 5 Cow School is definitely the way to go. Almost every week, they are hosting classes somewhere between Texas and Tennessee. They do a fantastic job. Here on September 30th and October 1st, they are going to be down in Somerset, Kentucky, hosting a school down there. If you want to learn more about that school and also check out other classes they have coming up across the country, head on over to their website, circle5cowschool.com. That is the number 5 in there. Or you can go ahead and just give them a follow on Facebook. Drovers has reported, according to John Nalivka, president of Sterling Marketing, when you look at the current fundamentals of the cattle market, the stars are aligning for a replay of the cattle market highs we saw back in 2014 and 2015. There's no doubt that cattle numbers are down and they continue to decline. Beef cow slaughter through the end of August at 2.7 million head was up 14% from a year ago and the highest that we have seen since 1984. Heifer slaughter for the same period was up 5% from a year ago and the highest since 2004, with year-to-date average carcass weights record high. So all of this points to the current cattle cycle, favoring ranchers and feeders in the coming year, of course. But Nalivka warns it's important to consider the potential pitfalls with all of this good news also. His concern stems from the state of the U.S. economy and what people are willing or able to pay for beef. There has obviously been a positive shift in demand over the last decade, and that is expected to work in the market's favor, according to Nalivka. But Americans, they're currently facing, as we all know, we're all facing the highest inflation since 1981, which is driven mostly by energy and food prices. And evidence shows that consumers are already adjusting their spending. With that being said, we have seen a sharp increase in export demand. July exports were up 3% year over year, and year to date, they're up 7% from 2021. Nalivka believes that this export strength will continue into 2023, but again, there is the issue of price. Higher beef prices resulting from less supply will be further strengthened in the export market by a strong dollar, which is up 10% from a year ago. How this all plays out remains to be seen. So in conclusion, Nalivka is not downplaying the markets into 2023 and the opportunity for significant financial gain at the ranch level. But he believes everyone needs to remember the factors that could pose downside risk to the market, including relatively high costs of production and managing that risk accordingly. Strong markets don't always lead the way to stronger markets. And finally, Meeting Place has reported a funnier story for your day. Doug Ramsey, COO of Beyond Meat, he was arrested last week on charges of terroristic threatening and third-degree battery after he allegedly attacked another man during an altercation in a parking garage after a college football game in Fayetteville, Arkansas, this past Saturday. Supposedly, Ramsey lost his cool while waiting to exit the parking garage when a car bumped his front right passenger side tire. Ramsey then proceeded to get out of his car and punch through the back windshield of the Subaru that hit him. Then when the owner of the Subaru exited his car, he began punching him, and he also bit the owner's nose, the tip of his nose, ripping the flesh right off the tip. On top of that, he threatened to kill the man. Not a good look. So Ramsey, of course, he was arrested. But since then, he has been let out on bond. He was hired by Beyond Meat back in December of 2021. And before that, he was working for Tyson Foods. That is all I have for you guys this morning. I hope everyone's week is rolling right along. I hope you all have a great Wednesday. I will see you on Friday morning.